Is called yellow dock. I'm going to try and show you as well as I can. I'll also show you it young so that you can see it. These guys here at an early stage before they've seeded. These guys here are totally edible. Yellow dock is quite bitter. And their little seeds kind of look like buckwheat. And I'm pretty sure that yellow dock is actually from the buckwheat family, which would make sense why it looks like buckwheat. So very simply, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to clip all of these off of here. Yeah. All right. I'm going to take these in and figure out what I'm going to do with them now. And it is really hot. I'm just going to let that dry for a couple of days because it's already pretty dry, but I do want it to dry out a bit more. And in this heat, it should get really nice and crispy. And then I'll show you how I'm going to take it off the stalks and clean it up and use it. So I just take it just like this. Move it closer to you guys if you guys can see it better. What I'm doing, I'll try. And number one, I do go through, and if there's any, like that's a piece of grass that's gone to seed, it won't necessarily hurt you, but some weeds, let's say, can be harmful. So you just want the ones that you know are good for you. I'll also pick off some of the leaves, but they don't matter because you can also eat the leaves. So I'll just give it a little look over, make sure it's fairly clean. And then I just take it, and I do make a mess. It ends up everywhere. It doesn't all end up in here. And I'm just pulling it down the stalk. So you're going to want to make sure you got a decent sized bin so that you have lots of area to catch all of your seed in. There, and then once it's fairly cleaned off, we move on. And I just take handfuls at a time. Like I said, I kind of have a look at it and make sure, you know, like this part here looks to me like a spider or something's probably been nesting in there, so I want to get that out of there. I also will go back through after I do a part. See, this leaf here has, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got some webbing in it, so it's probably had a spider living in there. We don't want to grind up and eat spiders. So I'll go through and I just kind of pick out some of the stuff that maybe I might not want. As I have already said, the leaves are edible, so you don't have to worry about removing everything. And we're going to be grinding this anyways. So, and I'll take it and I rub it in my hands. It's a little dusty. Try not to breathe that in. Whew. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. But that's what the seed looks like. I'm not super concerned about what's in here. And I'm going to grind this all up. So as long as I go through and pick out any, like that's why I rub it through my hands like this. And anything that doesn't break up, when I shake it, it comes to the surface and I can kind of pick it off. And I'm not really that concerned about having that in there because this is all going to get ground up. So there you go. That's how, and obviously anything that falls on the table just becomes garbage. You don't want to sweep that into your bin and then end up with other things in there that you don't want. You want to try and keep this fairly clean. So we just continue that process until we've gone through all of our seed. Okay, so once you've got this all taken off of your stalks and you've got it cleaned up a little bit, we're going to take it, and now I don't have a Vitamix. If I had a Vitamix, I could probably use just that. But I take it and I put it in my blender. I have a Versa. Full enough. And so I'm gonna grind this up as much as I can with my blender. I'm gonna let it sit for a minute because it's gonna be a lot of dust in there floating around. Okay, so it's settled down a little, but not totally. So I'm just going to take it. This is a messy process. Don't expect it to be clean. And I put it through a sieve, a strainer. This is a nice fine strainer. So what's left there, I will put back in the blender. But wait, we're not done. So now we have this, which is actually what was in this bowl. Now you can just leave it just like this. And you can eat it just like this. What I like to do is put it through, I have, this is just a coffee grinder, obviously, but it's never been used for coffee. I do my flax seeds and stuff in this. I grind oats and stuff like that in here. So if you want it to be really nice and fine, you can put it through a coffee grinder. Or like I said, you saw how fine that was. It's coarse, but totally usable at this stage. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll leave it at this stage, put it in a jar, and then when I want to use it, I'll take out what I want, grind it up, and then add it to my recipe. But I am going to show you that process because I'm wanting to get this jar filled the rest of the way, just so I have some on hand that's easy to use. And then I'll grind the rest of it up and just leave it at this stage and put it in another jar and put it in the pantry. This might be messy. There. If you can see that. Got a pretty pretty fine consistency there now.